Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of What the Insurance. Today, we're going to talk about dental out of network reimbursements. We're going to revisit this subject from last week's episode where we discussed dental. Remember, I promised you guys a sub episode, and today is that day. So let's get started. We talked about last week that there were two types of dental out of network reimbursements. The first is the UCR, which stands for usual, customary, and reasonable. And the second is the MAC, which stands for maximum allowable charge. Under the UCR type of reimbursement, the way it's set up is that the percentiles for dental procedures are based on measurements that are within a certain region or area. So the amount of money that is reimbursed is decided upon measurements that come from a specific region or area. From that point, the insurance company sets their UCR percentages by utilizing benchmark data within the region or area. So that's how they're able to determine how much they're going to pay out for out-of-network reimbursements. It's based on a specific region or area, and the benchmark data from that region or area is how different insurance companies set their UCR percentages. Under the maximum allowable charge, or MAC reimbursement, rates are charged based on a negotiated amount between the insurance company and their contracted providers. Sometimes the amount of money that's paid out when it's out of network can be the same as what's in network. It's just a matter of what the actual dentist would charge. So even though the insurance company may pay the same amount of money, whether it's in network or out of network, the dentist, because they're not considered a contracted provider, may charge you more money when you're out of the network, which means you don't get the best bang for your buck. The negotiated rates that are determined are what are used to determine the cost if the member goes out of network. So the negotiated rates that the contracted providers have determined between them and the insurance company is what is used to determine what will be paid out on your behalf if you go out of the network. So let's talk more about an example for the UCR, or usual, customary, and reasonable reimbursement. Let's say you're a member and you visit an out-of-network dentist. The insurance company will cover 50% of up to the UCR. In this case, and remember this is just an example, the plan's UCR is $1,500. The dentist charges $1,000 for the procedure that you have when you go to the dentist as a member that is out of the network. The insurance plan is going to pay 50% of the $1,000 because $1,000 is the charge for the procedure, and the plan pays 50% up to the UCR. So the insurance company is going to pay 50% of that $1,000. The member would pay the difference, which would be $500. Now let's change up the example for a bit. What if the dentist charged $2,000 for the procedure? Well, in that case, the plan would only pay 50% up to the $1,500. So that would be 50% of $1,500, which is $750. And from there, the member would be left to pay the difference between the $750 and the $2,000. So that's how the out-of-network reimbursements work under the UCR, or usual, customary, and reasonable plan. Now let's look at an example under the MAC, or maximum allowable charge plan. Okay, same member visits an out-of-network dentist. Under this plan, the insurance plan will cover 50% of the maximum allowable charge. In this case, or this example, it is $900. That's the maximum allowable charge. So the dentist charges $1,000 for the procedure. The insurance plan is going to pay 50% of the $900 because the maximum allowable charge is $900. So 50% of that $900 is $450. And from there, the member would be left to pay the difference between the $450 and the $1,000. And that's how the out-of-network reimbursements work under the maximum allowable charge, or MAC plan. Okay, so let's talk about some key takeaways. First things first, don't be afraid to ask questions. Ask your dentist if they are in the network for your insurance. Remember from last week's episode, there's a difference between asking, do they accept your insurance, and are they in network? You want to make sure you ask, are they in network for your insurance? And you can also check the insurance company's website for in-network providers if you're looking for a dentist and you want to make sure they're covered in the network. If you must go to an out-of-network dentist, Ask your insurance company, what is their out-of-network reimbursement method? That way you know it and you're prepared to pay what you may have to pay if you go out of the network. Again, like I said, don't be afraid to ask questions. It's very important that you understand the benefits so that you can make the right decisions for your family. So, thank you for joining this week's episode of What the Insurance. Remember, you can follow me on Instagram at what's_the_insurance, where you will have access to my videos, all of my archive videos, as well as other information I post throughout the week. You can also check me out on YouTube. All of my archive videos are on YouTube, and the link is in the description below. Next week we will be taking a break. Sorry to say, I will not be online next week, but August 15th, I will be back online and we will go live and we will talk about vision. So join me August 15th as we journey into the world of vision. Thank you and have a great week.